So, who's ready for all the news you don't want to hear?
Oh, there.
Oh, God, no.
Yay!
Good evening. Welcome to the Evening News. I'm your host for tonight, Catboy Kunhula. In the news. Now, according to the New York Post, due to the pandemic this year, for New Year's Eve, most of Manhattan Island will be closed down, and the New Year's Eve ball drop will be entirely virtual this year. That means for those of us in Second Life, absolutely nothing will change.
Yeah.
As usual.
Right. Now, as for what platform New York will use to host a ball drop, I really have no idea. Ow! The hell? Where'd that thing come from? Oh, for God's sake. All right. Guys, watch your balls. All right. Now, this coming up. Now, what you're about to look at is absolutely real. This is not Photoshop. This is a real thing. The makers of the Japanese anime series Gundam has just unveiled a 60-foot tall, 30-ton, actual life-size, fully movable, moving Gundam at their factory in Yokohama, Japan. Now, this is an amazing technological achievement for a cartoon studio. And since it was created by a Japanese anime studio, you know that someone is going to make a hentai about it.
Oh.
Anyway, since it was created... Oh, here we go. And to demonstrate that the giant robot's mobility, engineers displayed it kneeling down in front of the press cameras, just to show that it's not just some dumb statue that's just hanging up there. No, this thing actually moves around. Now, in response to the giant robot kneeling, the fans of the Kansas City Chiefs vowed that they will build their own giant robot to scream at the Gundam for disrespecting the flag. Now, WWE has announced a new line of wines that feature the Ultimate Warrior and the Undertaker. And if you guzzle down enough of this wine, you will likely get to meet the Undertaker in person. According to the press release, the Undertaker-themed wine is a limited edition Cabernet Sauvignon, and the Warrior-themed wine is a Zinfandel. Wine experts say that the wine has a distinct flavor of folding chairs mixed with spandex crotch sweat. Yummy. Now, just a little bit of historical recap. In 2018, Florida voters overwhelmingly approved Amendment 4, which restored voting rights to felons who had completed their sentences. However, the Republican-controlled Senate and governor passed legislation to deny those rights to ex-cons who still owed money in fines. Even though records for who owes what is so antiquated and disorganized, it's impossible to find out who owes what to whom. Denying a person's right to vote for unpaid fines seems a little bit extreme, like the time I went to pay for a library fine for an overdue book in the library and hauled off and kicked me in the wiener. Ow. Now, in response to this, former New York mayor and lawn gnome looking up at a pigeon he's worried is about to poop on his head, Michael Bloomberg, who raised $20 million among various celebrities, including LeBron James, so that felons who completed their prison sentences can vote in the presidential election, thereby re-enfranchising over 31,000 people. Now, since billionaires in this rare occasion are using their wealth to preserve democracy, Bill Gates asked his wealthy peers to check their couch cushions for loose change and see if they could raise enough money to bail out the United States Post Office. And lastly, just this week, the New York Times reports that it has obtained Donald Trump's tax information for the past 2 decades. One of the headlines is, in the year 2016, that's the year Donald Trump won the presidency, he paid $750 in federal income taxes. That means literally every single person in this room has paid more income tax individually than Donald Trump, and at least 3 of us are on disability support that I know of. All right? Now, that isn't shocking enough. 10 of the previous 15 years, Trump paid no income tax at all. Nothing. Now, apparently, Trump has been writing off his taxes by going over his chronic losses and claiming strange expenses, such as spending $70,000 to style his hair during his time in The Apprentice. And all I could think of is, you spent $70,000 on that? Man, I sure hope you kept the receipts to get a refund. That's the way you wish it wasn't. I'm Catboy.
Hey!